2.6 million years ago, New York City lay under a sheet of ice that was so thick it would have buried today's tallest skyscraper. And as the ice abruptly melted, it shaped our city into the unique landscape we see today. In fact, many neighborhoods in the city even take their names from the leftover elevations created by this phenomenon. For example, Forest Hills, Bay Ridge, Park Slope, Crown Heights, and Prospect Heights, to name just a few. And joining us now to explain just how the Ice Age shaped New York is the science journalist and senior writer for the New York Times, William J. Broad. Bill, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
So, Bill, the last Ice Age began over 2.5 million years ago, but it began to melt only 18,000 years ago.
Right.
So what caused that global warming? What caused that climate change? Do we know?
Geologists have lots of information about this, right? But it's a very, very, very complex problem. It's easier in science to describe than to explain. And a lot of it has to do with orbital issues. Where is the orbit of the planet? How is it tilting? How much sunlight falls on the planet? And they're very, very complex cycles that they're working out beautifully. And most of it has to do with that. But they're factors they still don't understand. It's a hot research topic.
You know, the reason I ask is because Time magazine just came out with an article talking about how Antarctica's ice is melting at an alarmingly fast rate.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if it was some of the same factors might be involved, or if it's, just carbon emission.
It's complex, right?
Yeah.
It's a complex problem. People talk about ocean rise. It's a real issue, especially in New York, right? Sandy and all that stuff. But how long have the oceans been rising? Since the end of that ice age, 18,000 years ago. The coast used to be way, way out there. It was another 100 miles before you'd get to the ocean, right? So the ocean has been rising for a long time.
So tell us, how did the melting that began 18,000 years ago create the landscape of New York City as we know it today?
Well, this enormous glacier, right? You nailed it in the opening, right? This huge thing higher than the Freedom Tower.
That's amazing.
I know. I mean,
it's amazing.
Right. When I was walking around with this geologist, he said, "Oh yeah, by the way, the ice, would have covered the Freedom Tower," and I'm like slack-jawed, going, "Oh, that's pretty good."
Yeah.
Anyways, these glaciers that were down here act like conveyor belts. They haul rubble. They haul pebbles. They haul boulders over thousands of miles. And some of these babies came from way up state. These glaciers started in Canada. And there was a conduit coming down from Canada that went through Lake Champlain region, down through the Hudson River Gorge, right down to where we are. Then all of a sudden, the big melt comes. And what do you have at the front, at the very leading edge of where that glacier was, is a hill, what geologists called a terminal moraine. And that moraine, as it turns out, weaves its way through Queens, through Brooklyn, through Staten Island. On average, it's about 200 feet high. And lo and behold, you can see it today. Right.
So tell us some of the places where the walls are, then we can still see them today.
Well, the way I got onto this story was I was up on top of our roof, up on 110th Street, looking, as I usually did, past the St. John, the Cathedral, St. John the Divine. And off in the distance, I could see a little hill. And I'd seen a map the previous day, and it turned out that hill that I've been looking at for a long time was part of this terminal moraine. And you can see it whipping through all these boroughs, outer boroughs. And when the city was developed, the developers went for the easy things first, right? The flat land, and that's easy. And there's not all this weird mix of rocks and pebbles and weird stuff. So they didn't use that. So as a result, this moraine today is a string of parks, golf courses, cemeteries, really old cemeteries, Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn, Battle Hill, the highest point in Brooklyn, is part of this terminal moraine. I mean, once I started, getting onto this, my wife said, "I hope the story runs soon because I can't hear you babbling about it any longer."
And then, of course, developers figure out that, hey, we can build on theirs too. And it's some of the nicest places in New York. I live in Prospect Heights. I can't complain.
Yeah, no, beautifully landscaped, all these trees. I mean, and as you were saying in the opening, a lot of the neighborhoods take their names from the woodiness, the hilliness, Bay Ridge. Who knew?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's also something left. You know, there's things called erratica that were left.
Yes.
Tell us what they are and what we can see of.
These are big mother boulders that the glaciers carried down, and they get dropped all over the city if you know where to look for them. But lo and behold, Central Park has these things. And the clue is that they tend to be rounded because they got ground around by these glaciers over, very
like
long
little
time.
pebbles with the big.
Yeah, except they're huge, right?
Yeah.
And also, they don't look like the local rock.
Yeah.
That's because they're not. They came from 100 miles upstate or somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then as the glaciers melted, kerplot. So a geologist, and I had the thrill of seeing all this through the eyes of a very smart geologist, to them, Central Park is an Ice Age museum. Yeah. They just go around and say, well, bing, 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 bing.
Well, Bill, thanks so much. Thanks so much for writing the article in the New York Times.
It was
and thanks
my
for joining
pleasure.
us to talk about it.
It was absolutely my pleasure. Thank you.